Hey guys, brand new podcast. And it is one. Wait, I'm on tour. Yeah. Scroll the dates. Yeah. I don't know where I am right now, but I know I'm on the road. And I know I'm pushing it hard. And I'm trying to be healthy. And I'm trying to work out. So if anyone wants to bring any pressed juices to my show, that would really help me out. Pressed juices, a salad maybe just a night off. Someone could drug me with a half a Xanax, half a milligram. Never mind. No one drugged me. Bert, be careful what you say. Today's podcast is a great one. I've been fans of this guy for a very long time, since 2019.
Mm-hmm. You talked about him on Open Tabs in the early episodes.
We've talked about him on Open Tabs. Him and his wife have a YouTube channel called Sailing La Vagabonde. It is one of my favorite things to watch. I've watched them sail in a small boat, to upgrade their boat to a French boat, to getting pregnant, to having a child, to locking down during quarantine on a boat from island to island. I've watched them have a second child, and now they are getting ready for yet another adventure that hopefully we'll meet up with them in the Bahamas. I would love that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but very quite possibly I'll be sailing to Hawaii with him in June. Me and him, and maybe I'll just won't do it for a TV show. What are the odds that's going to fucking happen? What are the odds Bert Kreischer isn't going to bring a camera with him and then post this shit online? Never. He is from South Australia. We talk about that. We talk about South Australia and the mentality that he grew up around. We have a couple beers. He admittedly says he's nervous, which I think is hilarious because the guy's got fucking a million more YouTube subscribers than I do. But he is very genuine, honest. And I gave him a pair of my flip-flops at the end of the show. At the end of the show, I gave him a pair of my flip-flops, and he fucking loved them. He couldn't stop saying they're so comfortable. This is a flip-flop dude. He lives on a boat. I told him these are his dress-up flip-flops. I got to get a pair for his wife. His wife, Elayna, is a musician, a songwriter, an editor. She does all the editing. They shoot it. And she's a mother of two. This woman wears so many fucking hats, and she actually really does wear a lot of good hats. She's got a good hat game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I watch a lot of their stuff. Like I said, their YouTube channel, Sailing La Vagabonde. I think if you check it out, you'll like it. Give it a subscribe. Leave a positive comment. Sign up for their Patreon. Their Patreon is also under Sailing La Vagabonde. And I'll tell you what, man, it's a good tap out. And if you're a guy like me who really draws energy from the ocean and wishes he could be sailing, well, when you can't go sailing, it's fun to see where they sailed to. They've sailed some fucking amazing places. So without further ado, I say that every time. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my buddy, world sailor, world traveler, father of two, partner to a beautifully talented woman, and probably the reason to all the success that they have, I would argue. I think she is the driving force between this two. He is an awesome dude, Riley Whitelum. Yeah, go see. We'll start rolling now. It is a real pleasure to meet you. I have watched so many of your videos. Yeah. So it started when I was in Australia when I first started watching your videos. I was on tour, and I think I'm fascinated by sailing transatlantic.
Yep.
It fascinates me. It scares the living shit out of me.
Yeah.
There's so much I want to talk to you about sailing, because I'm really obsessed with sailing.
Cool. Nice.
I'm really obsessed with sailing. I think I almost bought a sailboat after watching your videos. I came back from Australia. I was like, I'm buying a sailboat.
Fantastic. Pull that up closer. Yeah. Right. Okay.
But let's start so everyone knows who you are and how I found you. You're from South Australia.
I am.
And that is where?
That is in the south of Australia, down the bottom in the middle. I'm from country South Australia.
Country? What's that mean?
Just regional.
Just regional.
Yeah.
So because there's a place, I bet you know the guy too. There's a place called Exmouth.
Yep.
And there's
Brody Moss, Youngbloods.
Dude, you and him. I feel like you and him would get along really well, but then there's a part of Brody that is so fucking.
He's crazy.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a wild man.
Yeah.
And you are so chill.
I'm fairly laid back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're quite different like that, but certainly both ocean people.
So you grew up in South Australia,
Yep.
didn't go to college?
I failed quite miserably. Yeah.
Instead, you found yourself on an oil rig.
Yeah.
So wait, tell me how that happens. Like, because it seemed to me like you got yourself to an oil rig to basically end up where you are today.
Kind of. I'm not really sure what made me decide to go down the sailboat path.
Yeah.
Although there's a broken neck incident in Rio de Janeiro.
I saw you almost break your neck again on a transatlantic
Exactly.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it was terrifying, and I know that terrifying feeling.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you almost break your, tell me about your broken neck?
So me and some mates were traveling in Brazil, and we were just backpacking through South America. And this is quite a long story, but long story short, I broke my neck. I needed to get spinal surgery in Brazil. Dad flew over.
In Brazil?
Yeah, it was pretty hectic.
Would you fall?
Yeah, there's the beach there, Copacabana.
Yeah.
And I got sucked up into this wave and just dumped, and I didn't know up from down. I heard my neck click. And it was pretty wild. So yeah, spinal surgery there. And then, Dad flew over, and that he would say is the sort of the catalyst for scrapping it all, jumping on a boat and sailing off into the wild blue yonder. I'm not sure. I think I might have been headed that way anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you graduate high school?
Yep. Yeah.
And
I did pass high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you remind me of like some of my friends I grew up with in Florida.
Yeah.
They can figure out anything. They're smart as fucking shit, but just school wasn't for them.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm smart as shit but I can figure a few things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you broke your neck in Brazil in like what year is this roughly?
Oh, that would have been 15 years ago.
Holy shit. Wait, how old are you? Like, I thought you were like 30.
Yeah, I'm mid-30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
maybe not quite that long ago.
So how do you get on an oil rig? That terrifies me. And it seems like such a like young guy. I don't care. I know it's a little dangerous, but I'm just going to stack cash and then try to get a chick.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really?
A chick or a check?
A check and a chick. It seems like a guy that would make
one follows the other. Yeah. So to get out there, it was very, very competitive at the time.
Really?
It was the resources boom was kicking off. So I was in just the right place at the right time. Had to do some creative work with my resume. Maybe fudged a few things there, and managed to get out there and just worked my ass off. So that's 12-hour days, 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off.
3 weeks on, 3 weeks off, just 12.
Yeah.
And so wait, where is this located?
Remote northwestern Australia, all the way through to the Timor Sea, and just all around that area.
Really?
Northwest Western Australia. So you jump on a helicopter, you fly out, you work for 3 weeks, like with 120 dudes on board. It's a pretty brutal environment. You're working really hard. It's pretty dangerous. And then, in your time off, you've got a pocket full of cash. I would go to the airport and just select a destination to fly to and cruise off and go and travel and have an awesome time.
Wow, what a fun fucking life.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, hey?
So you work for 3 weeks, go travel for 3 weeks, come back, work for 3 weeks.
Come back like thrashed, tired, hungover, and
So what's a day like on an oil rig?
It's a while ago now. It's a good position to be in to talk about it, as it being so long ago. You'd wake up early, go to a pre-start meeting, go out onto a deck. I was working with cranes, so this big crane would come over, a hook would come down. I'd run in, hook up this container, generally speaking, and then get the hell out of the way as the crane op would pick the container up, and it would sort of smash around into different things around you. You'd just make sure that you were out of the way. That was, I guess, 90% of the job was just working with the crane op.
Really?
Yeah.
Dangerous?
Looking back, yeah, it was. There's certainly positions you could get yourself into which were pretty dangerous. At the time, I was like, no one out here is dying, so everything's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking back on it all, there were some things that we were expected to do which probably were a bit off.
Was there booze out there?
No.
So you just work and then go
you
to
get
sleep?
pretty fit. That was the good thing about it.
Yeah. And so you just are out there movie night or anything?
Yeah, there was TV. The internet was slow. Like you couldn't get any banking done, or it was pretty difficult.
So you stack cash there.
Yep. So I saved up. Eventually,
like how much? Like $100,000, like $30,000, like you don't have to give me an exact number. You don't seem like the kind of guy that talks like that.
No. So I guess I saved up $200,000.
Oh my God.
Over 7 years.
Yeah.
And then, and this was a big turning point. So there was dudes out there. The key is to get out, right?
Yeah.
Because you can get stuck there, and invariably, you'll have a partner, and then she'll leave you. Yeah. And then you all of your hard work sort of gone, and you go hard. There's lots of horror stories out there.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
So 7 years. So you did it. You did it for a while.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I learned a lot. I sort of looking back with mixed emotions.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Yeah. Well, because it was a pretty brutal environment. I do have some really good friends that came from there, but it just wasn't my people.
Yeah.
So it was hard, and some of the people that I work with, like especially this one craner, was just the world's biggest asshole. Hey, like so I just hated working for him. Actually, it was quite funny. I've got a bit of a story for you. The classic thing to do is this guy pulled me in and he's like, I realize you're not getting along with your crew. You're a good lad. We're going to fuck him over. Like, come with me. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? And he took me down into this room, and he had some food dye, and he's like, we're going to go and put this in this dude's boots. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, just let me have a drink here. So this is an old classic, right, which I didn't know about, and he was looking after me. So you fill up this dude's boots just enough so that when they sweat, it'll go all through their shoes and their socks.
Yeah.
So this guy comes in, actually, can I just bail from this whole story?
No. No. So they put the food dye.
I'm very nervous.
Why are you nervous? You're not a much of a talker. You're not like I noticed that between the two of you, you were the one that didn't want to start the vlog.
Yeah.
She wanted to start the vlog, and you were just like, you because that's not how you guys grew up. In South Australia, if you tried to say like I'm a badass or that you are worth something, people would be like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're not shit.
Yeah.
So I understand that part of your personality. That's why I offered you a beer. I was like, because I've watched
Which I'm nearly through.
No, by the way, I have more. But okay, bail on the story. Let's go to the next question I have.
If we can edit that out, so I don't sound like such a stuttering buffoon.
No, listen.
Then I'll continue.
There's endearingness to that. So what your business is vlogging and sometimes taking people on your boat, correct? That you used to do that, where like fans that were follow your Patreon could come out on the boat.
Yeah.
And you seem like a guy that one-on-one, you are comfortable in quietness.
Yeah.
You're comfortable not trying to sell yourself.
Yeah.
That is not who I am at all. I am hardcore promotion, hardcore, don't like silence. I have no problem fucking talking.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, well, I'll grab a couple beers.
Yeah.
Because when you have a beer on your boat, you don't seem like you drink often.
Yeah.
You seem like you have one beer or two beers.
Oh no. I used to drink a lot when I was younger, especially during that part of my life. But
really?
Living on the boat, you need to be on the ball quite often. So
Really?
I'm not gonna go and get smashed and then go for a sail. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah.
But so is there ever a time that you can just relax on a boat?
Yeah,
But
for
when
sure.
you're the captain.
If you've got a beautiful forecast, like if you know for 4 days, like there's going to be no wind, or even just 24 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. You're really not going to go getting blackout drunk on the boat because you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. That's part of the reason I wanted to get a boat was I could get blackout drunk and go out. But I guess I'm thinking of like motorboats. Like when we were kids, you'd go out in the lake.
People do it, but shit happens.
Yeah.
Right? It happens often enough that, if you're going to do it for 20, 30 years like I'm going to, then, the chances of something happening would be. And that's a catastrophe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to you going to Europe.
Yep.
And meeting
Elayna.
Are you guys married?
No.
Your chick.
Yeah.
Your chick. Who is the mother of 2 of your children?
Yeah.
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 And you've been sailing with for how long?
We've been sailing together for probably 6.5, 7 years. I think. Yeah.
Wow. It seems I just discovered you guys when when was my Australian tour? Was it 4 years ago? 3 years ago.
Right.
And I was obsessed. I must have watched all your fucking videos.
That's so cool, man.
Oh, it's escapism.
Yeah.
Because when I was in my senior year of high school, I was getting ready to go to college, and we took a sailboat through the Virgin Islands.
Yep.
And it was me, my sisters, my dad, my mom, and then we had a captain.
Yeah.
And we had a cook. And it was my dad had a client that didn't want to pay him, would rather give him his boat and his captain for a week.
Yeah.
So it was like nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice. And I decided then, this is what I'm doing. I was
Really?
I was like, this is what I'm doing. It was.
Actually, I was going to say, so I listened to your podcast that you did with Van Neistat.
Yeah.
And at some point during that, you said that you drew power from the ocean.
I do. I draw hardcore power from the ocean.
That's sick.
It's I grew up in Florida, so the ocean was part of our lives growing up.
Yeah. Did you cruise over to the Bahamas often,
all the time?
Yeah,
all the time.
Right.
All the time. Probably, I want to say it felt like every other weekend in 9th grade.
Wow.
In 9th grade, I had a buddy whose dad had a boat in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And his dad liked to gamble, so we'd fly over to the Bahamas all the time.
Yeah.
And you just go out and we'd take a tank, sink it to the bottom, dive down, take hits off the tank, swim around, take another hit off the tank, swim around. Super dangerous.
What? Yeah.
Super dangerous. Yeah. We were kids. We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And then we'd snorkel, free dive, snorkel, everywhere.
Cool. So you have gotten into free diving.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Years ago.
Long time ago. And to the point where I just was comfortable swimming to deep parts of an ocean, holding my breath, swimming around and coming up. I have been spearfishing before.
Yeah.
But all I shot was a barracuda.
Yeah.
So but we go to the Bahamas all the time. And so on this sailing trip I decided this is what my life's going to be.
So are you going to do it?
Well, I have a little bit of a career now, so I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, what happened is I was on the boat and I looked at a guy and he had his boat. He was probably 27 years old and he had a surfboard netted to the side of it. And it just looked like, and he had a beautiful woman on the boat. And I just thought, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is where I'll be. And so I went to college, and then Rolling Stone magazine discovered me and called me the #1 party animal in the country. And I just got into comedy. And and I think I'm a better comic than I am sailor, hardcore.
Yeah.
But when I found you guys, I got to live vicariously through you guys. And I was looking for a hobby. You know, all my friends were taking up flying. Bill Burr's flying helicopters, Tom Segura's flying planes.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of, I was like, I guess I got to take up flying. And then I was like, I don't want to take up flying.
This is a great spot here for sailing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you guys sailed? Are you cold? It gets pretty cold in
I'm
here.
a bit cold, yeah.
Yeah, Halston, can you drop the AC? Because he's wearing a fucking blanket.
Yeah.
Do you want another beer?
I do.
Okay. Halston, grab another beer, would you? I wish I could wear clothes the way you wear clothes. They just feel like they hang off you and they don't seem tight. All my clothes seem tight as fuck. So this is Tombolo.
What is it?
Tombolo.
Tombolo.
Okay. Fucking amazing leisure wear.
Right. Nice one.
And by the way, dialed in for you. A lot of this terry cloth stuff.
Yeah.
Nice on a boat when you get done
Looks
for the
good.
day and you want to relax. Yeah. So you meet Elayna.
Yep.
You tell her, come back to my boat. I want to show you something.
So, no, so we met out one night. I was babysitting my friend who was super drunk. So she looked over. What we've told this story a fair few times. So I feel happy filling in her part for it.
Yeah.
She looked over and she saw this mustachioed gentleman across the way, but I looked quite grumpy, and she was like, "What the hell? Like, what's going on there?" So, and then my friend stumbled into her later on, and they were both from the smallest country town in Western Australia. They were both born there. So he called me over and he's like, "You've got to meet this girl." We met, and I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a boat." And she didn't believe.
And now,
me.
is this La Vagabonde?
Yeah.
So this is La Vagabonde.
This is the
original monohull
Beneteau Cyclades.
So tell me about this boat real quick.
Okay, so when I left the oil rigs, I bought a boat off 3 arguing Italian businessmen, and I got it for like a song after the global financial crisis because they were in sort of disarray.
Yeah.
So they bought it for a charter company. I got it like really cheap, so it was quite new. I think it was 4 or 5 years old at the time.
And did you know anything about boats at this time?
Zero. Like actually literally nothing.
Really?
I'd been on boats, but not sailboats, and nothing that you could live on, and I didn't know about navigation, and some of the shit I was doing.
Where was this boat?
So bad.
Where was this boat? In Italy?
In Italy, in Monopoli in Italy on the East Coast.
So wait, I mean, this is kind of astounding because now you know as a sailor, there's certain things that are like that I know, that like if you didn't know how to sail, you'd be like, well, don't you just get the wind behind you and start cranking it up?
Yeah,
and I mean, how we used to do it was you had to face the wind to get the sail up, and then swing it out and catch it, and all of a sudden the boat goes, oh, and we're turning.
Yeah, perfect. That's it. That's how you do it.
But did you know to do that?
I knew how to do that, but it probably took me 2 years to learn to get myself to where if a mistake happened, it was because we were unlucky rather than stupid. Yeah.
And
so there's a lot to learn.
So were you just taking this boat out, living on it, but taking it out on easy days and sailing and then coming back?
I'd love to say yes, but there was one time when my cousin was on board and I was like, we were rocking it. We were having a few beers and I was like, look at that nasty cloud over there. Let's go and check that out. And we went over and it started blowing like 40 knots and we got knocked around a bit. That was off the coast of Albania. And that was one of my first big mistakes. And I was like, let's not do that again. Because you start reducing sail. So you're putting sail away. And so the main sail is the main sail. The one
Pretend I know nothing about sailing because I don't. I know nothing about sailing.
Okay, so there's a head sail and a main sail.
Yeah.
And mine had 2 reefs and it should probably have 3, especially if you want to do like ocean passages where the weather can deteriorate and get bad.
Yeah.
So I had 2 reefs in and no other gear to go down. So we were well overpowered, like way overpowered and hammering along. And he had a girlfriend on board at the time. They broke up.
Really?
Later, maybe a week later. But yeah, this high stress situation wouldn't have helped things. Went into a port in Albania. We had to like scale the wall to throw ropes down. We're tied off to this industrial wharf onto a massive tractor tire, and that was a bit of a disaster.
Really?
But yeah, just an example of one example of the mistakes that I was making at that time.
Are you looking for a personalized gift that the whole family will use? For the fitness lovers in your life, maybe? The holidays are coming up, and we all know how stressful this time of year is. and the perfect gift to give everyone sometimes relieves a bunch of stress. That's why I suggest you try Fight Camp. It's amazing because it is a meaningful gift that gives the whole family an impactful workout. Fight Camp brings the best workouts in the world into your home and makes it fun. Learning how to box, kickbox from home with access to world-class programming, elite trainers, premium equipment, and smart technology that turns your workout into an interactive experience. Thousands of classes, quick workouts. You can do a killer workout in as little as 20 minutes. The data that the Fight Camp provides is real-time data during your workout so you can track your progress, work towards guided goals, and see exactly how you're improving over time. And like I said, it's a full-body workout, a brain workout, and it's good for the whole family. Now is the best time to get your Fight Camp. Take advantage of their holiday deal going on right now. If you purchase this November, you'll get an additional pair of gloves for free. Just go to joinfightcamp.com/Bert to get an additional pair of gloves for free all November. Go to joinfightcamp.com/Bert. That's joinfightcamp.com/Bert. I'm officially the fattest I've ever been. I don't even know what to eat anymore. Look, there's a lot of pressure when it comes to losing weight to label foods, good foods or bad foods. I had a breakfast burrito this morning. I don't even know if that's good food or bad food. They're eggs. Are eggs good or bad? That's why Noom is great. Noom is here to change the way we see food with a psychologically based approach that looks at what you eat, but also how you eat. So instead of making you feel guilty or regretful, Noom empowers you to keep going. Not everyone wants to be on a strict diet or do 2 days at the gym or just eat no carbs or just drink tea in the morning. I'm telling you, instead of trying to cram your life into someone else's idea of health, try Noom. Noom uses a psychologically based approach to find a healthier balance that's moldable to your life, and as a result, way more sustainable. Noom's weight cognitive behavioral approach helps you understand your relationship with food, how to be more mindful of your habits, and gives you the knowledge and support you need for long-lasting change. 75% of Noom users finish the program, and more than 60% of the users engaged with the program keep the weight off for more than a year. No need to fear ruining the whole program with 1 day off. Noom will help you get back on track. All you need is a daily 10-minute check-in. No grueling early morning workouts or huge chunks of your day. Start building better habits for healthier, long-term results. Sign up for your trial at Noom.com/Bertcast. That's NOOM.com/Bertcast. So at the time that you met Elayna,
yeah,
how good of a sailor were you?
Terrible.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And you're the kind of guy that doesn't sell shit short. Like you're pretty honest. Like if I told, I would never, like if you said terrible, it's probably not as bad as it is, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm someone that every story I tell, my buddy Tom says I speak in hyperbole. Everything's a little bit bigger than it is.
Yep.
It's never, you're never getting the facts from me. You're getting the feel from me.
Yeah.
I don't care if you know the facts. I want you to know how I felt.
Yeah.
So like, so you were terrible, and you had been sailing now for 2 years.
Probably a year and a half with but it gets really, really cold in the Mediterranean and miserable in winter.
Oh, I've heard you guys say, they say not to sail in the Mediterranean in the winter, right?
Yeah, no, it's not much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but yeah, you're gonna get knocked around a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
for that year and a half, probably 4 months, the boat was out of the water on the hard whilst I went back to Australia, which is what you do. You can do repairs and paint the hull and do all that sort of stuff in the winter time.
And so you go back to Australia. Would you go back to the oil rig?
I did, yeah, back at that time.
That's nice. Make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and that was the plan long term.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the plan was long term, work on the oil rig, enjoy your life.
To have this boat in the Mediterranean, like mates from work and whoever could come over and come on board. We'd cruise around, and the plan was to work less, but yeah, I mean, I had no other way of making money. So
when you met Elayna, did you say, I mean, at what point did you decide, hey, I think I'm just going to live on this boat?
So I guess that came later after we made a YouTube channel. I think was I mean, I'd bought the boat and I'd saved up enough money to stay on board for maybe 2 years or something like that. At which point I would make another plan or maybe have sailed it back to Australia.
Was that part of the plan?
Well, I was sort of making it up as I went along. I was just happy having a boat at that point. And
I'm
cruising
jealous. I'm jealous. Do you go back to that point in your life and think zero responsibilities?
Yeah. Zero clue.
And no stress.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, you're young enough where you're like, I'm not getting sick.
Yeah.
Like I'm in good shape. I'm working my ass off. Like God, I would love
the freedom of having a boat. Like I was very fortunate to be around during the resources boom, so I could capitalize on that oil rig work.
Yeah.
Right, and then being able to buy the boat with that much money at that age was just incredible.
It really was.
Absolutely wild.
Do you think sometimes, what if you had taken that money and invested it or gotten into
Bitcoin?
Gotten into Bitcoin. Jesus. So you meet Elayna, and then, by the way, you say her name different than I say it. You say it with an H.
Elayna.
Often, it's so funny. I was driving today, and I was like, I want to say their names the way they say it to each other.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't just say Riley. She goes, Riley.
Riley. And Elayna.
I made a joke about you guys on stage in Australia thinking it would work, and it did not.
No,
the joke was...
Did you really?
Yeah. Well, I was obsessed with you guys. I was watching every fucking joke, and I said, how many vowels do you guys have in no? Because Elayna, when she says no, it's no. But I didn't realize that when I make fun of the way you guys say it, that's how you say it and hear it. So you're just saying it normal now.
Yeah.
You sound weird when you say it. No,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. So I kind of want to get to the part about when you guys decided to get into YouTube, but was the plan when you met her to let's just sail, and then when we need money, we'll go back to Australia and make money?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. So I met, my drunk friend introduced us. I convinced her. Initially, she was like, "You don't have a boat." She didn't believe me, and she actually ran away on the first night. And then, but we'd exchanged details, and then
you were in Greece.
We're in Greece in Eos. Have you been?
I've not.
No.
I've been to Greece though. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a cool spot. It's a really
Corfu.
good place to sail. Yeah, Corfu. I single-handed my boat before I met Elayna around Corfu.
Did you ever go to the Dr. George's place? There's the place that all the European kids go and party, the Pink Palace?
Probably.
That's fucking awesome.
I don't know. So yeah, then we exchanged details. Elayna looked me up on Facebook, saw my profile picture. I was there on a boat, and then she felt terrible. She was like, "Oh, this guy was actually telling the truth." And then I'd gone away to work and left the boat tied up in Eos in the dock there because I met a guy that was going to look after it. Came back, and then she and I started to hit it off. And
so she was working.
She was playing guitar and singing on the island. Yeah. So when I saw her playing guitar and singing, I was like, "God damn, I got to get this girl to come with me."
That's the one.
Yeah.
So then you guys were just kind of sailing around and just going, well, if we need money, we'll go back to Australia and work.
Yeah. I mean, I had enough saved up to last me probably a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that was the plan, I guess. Yeah.
So at what point did you say, did you say I love you first, or did you say, hey, do you want to sail around the world with me first?
I don't know. But not sail around the world, but I certainly invited her on board and said, come to this island and then this island, and she quit her job, so it got serious very, very quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
she's from Western Australia, where spearfishing is pretty big.
Yeah.
And I took her on board, and it was a really weird day. It's something that I've never seen happen, honestly, ever since. It's going to sound cheesy or overly romantic, but no shit. The water was dead calm. So it was like there was no wind for the first 5 meters. And then above that, there was quite a bit of wind because there was not a ripple on the water. And I had the boat heeled over a long way so she could dip her toes in the water, and it was glassy, and we were just hammering along, and we went from one island to the other. We went from Eos to Amorgos, and tied off, and we went to this beautiful Greek restaurant. We had some squid and just the local cuisine. So you drop your anchor and you reverse up and you tie your ropes off, and you jump off the back of the boat, and there's like a beautiful Greek restaurant right there. So you're walking sort of 4 meters and sitting down and ordering a bottle of wine or whatever. And then, the next day, I'm really turning, like, she had no
chance.
She was defenseless against
it. You're gorgeous. You got abs. You got a long flowing hair, a mustache, your own boat. You got money in the bank for 2 years, and you take her on the and I'm just picturing toes dragging the water and just going, and you thinking to yourself, "Oh, this deal's closed."
Yeah. I'm in here.
A pumper full of squid and wine and see what happens. God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
How many of those do you think you have in your period, in your time on this boat, those picturesque moments where you look at it, you see it, and you go, this is why I am where I am, because these moments are amazing. Like maybe it's a sunset or a morning where you're up first. And
I mean, every day.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Every day where you're going...
Yeah, it shit can hit the fan pretty quickly, and you can have a terrible time. I mean, you could drag anchor, or a big squall comes.
I saw you
and
guys.
You're very tied to the elements, and the ocean and Mother Nature. But the things that you're talking about every single day.
I mean, there's that one the most beautiful, image. You mocked it one time, but where Elayna's swimming and it's raining and she's videotaping her and she got her mouth open and she's trying to catch the raindrops.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, in the water and it's just raining. It's not no, there's no lightning. It's just raining.
Yeah.
A little drizzle. I've seen so many of your moments that you've had where I go, God, I'm so jealous. I want to be in that. I want to be there,
Yeah.
And I think that's what drew me to you guys. That and you guys were genuinely a cool couple. Like it seemed like there were like you guys would reference like someone being short with someone, but it was always like kind of a team. And I thought that was cool because that's like how me and my wife are.
How do you mean with reference being short with someone?
Like she'd be like, "Oh, Riley's having a little bit of a way," and you'd be upset about something, but you weren't angry.
Yeah,
you'd be frustrated with something.
Yeah, I mean, we get angry and frustrated, and
but what was great is that you referenced it.
Yeah,
like you didn't just hide it in your vlog. You would reference it, and I was like, "Oh, this is a real fucking couple."
Yeah, so that's one thing that we've certainly tried to concentrate on as the videos have gone on, and we get better at telling a story. Is acknowledging the shit times and how difficult it is to live on a boat
with 2 children.
It's really hard, and then 2 kids.
Well, I saw you guys with Lenny. I watched you have that kid. I watched her be pregnant. Wait, how old is he right now?
He's 3 on December the 6th.
Yeah, so I must have been watching this for probably 4 years because I found your vlog, started here, watched all the way up to there, then watched you guys have that kid. And then I thought, they're done. There's no way they're staying on this fucking boat with a fucking kid.
You know what? And that's what people said. And I was like, right, we are going to knuckle down. And we did daily vlogs.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. I mean.
Very nuts. I know how hard that is.
Yeah. So we that was really motivating seeing those negative comments.
Yeah.
I was like,
you read a lot of the comments?
I go through phases where if it's knocking me around a bit and I acknowledge that, Elayna's like, okay, well, take a step back, stop it. But generally speaking, I've read probably nearly every single one.
It's so fucking funny. I remember when you replied to me and I was like, what the fuck is he replying to me for? And you were like, oh, thanks, I've messaged you like weird things. I'm sure I'm drunk. That's what I would do. Is I would drink and watch you guys and be like, just disappear. And I know that sounds probably mentally ill. That if you had said this 20 years ago, you'd be like, so you watching other people live their lives? And I go, yeah, because it makes me feel like, it makes me go, I could do that. I could get out there.
Yeah.
I played tennis with a guy who said, I won't say his name out of respect for what I'm about to say, but he said, be very clear with your wife when you get married how you guys want to spend retirement. And I said, really? And he said, yes. He said, my wife, because they were getting retired, they were retiring. He said, my wife wants to spend all her time with our grandkids. And I said, you don't? And he goes, I want to spend my time getting my dick sucked on a boat. And I went, and your wife doesn't want to do that? And he goes, well, I don't want her there either. and he did. He ended up buying a boat and just going to Catalina every weekend. He loved it. He loved it. He would be so excited. Friday we played tennis. He'd be like, I'm getting on the fucking boat. You want to come? And I was young and I was like, no, I'm gonna spend time with my family.
Yeah,
And,
I want to keep my wife.
Yeah, but that's like my dream is to have a boat, sail out to Catalina for the weekend.
Yeah.
Park it in Sharks Cove.
Your dream?
My dream, yeah. Oh yeah. I love my real dream.
I've got a better dream for you.
What is it?
Sail the boat downwind.
Yeah.
From here to the Galapagos, to the Tuamotus, to the Marquesas, through the Cook Islands to Fiji, and then to Australia.
Hey, can you map
it's
that?
All downwind.
Pull up for real.
Yeah, it's
pull
like,
up a map.
That's seriously doable. Really, I'm not going to say easy, but
okay. How about this?
Manageable.
How about it? Let me tell you how my brain works. Okay.
Okay.
My brain is all about money. It's all about making money, and it's all about making things easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's Hawaii.
There's Hawaii. So south of there.
South.
Yeah.
The Galapagos.
There. So actually, yeah, you might want to go Hawaii and then down. Oh, we're actually further north than I thought we were.
So you know what? One of my dreams was to sail to Hawaii.
So Hawaii, you've been there quite a bit, hey?
I love Hawaii. It's my favorite place in the world.
I did hear that. But it's good, but I don't think it's great for sailing. Like there's not so many protected anchorages, and protected anchorages are just completely necessary.
What's protected anchorage?
A place where you can drop anchor and go to sleep and not be petrified that waves or wind or whatever are going to come in. Yeah.
Also, we may need to close that computer. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to close this.
No worries, mate.
My phone number got leaked and people just FaceTime me all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sucks.
You got doxxed, bro.
I got doxxed. How about this, soft bitch? I buy a boat.
Right.
And then you let Elayna and the kids hang out in Australia, and then me and you sail to Hawaii.
I can sail to Hawaii with you for sure.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's easy.
See, okay, so let's, I want to talk about your story, but this is what really fascinates me. The absolute fear in a big, long sail like that goes into the planning.
Yeah.
Like I've watched you guys get ready for one, and I go, do you read like an almanac for the next month? Do you know what weather's systems are coming? Do you look at that kind of stuff?
So I find that really interesting as well. And that's for passage planning. So if we're going offshore for at least 10 days, we're going to go 1,000, 2,000 miles or something like that. That's where it gets interesting. That's what separates the men from the boys.
Yeah.
Like that's the shit. Like it's really good fun. It's my favorite thing.
Really?
So, that's being out there is beautiful.
It's different.
Yeah. So, your weather reports are solid for probably 4 or 5 days. But you would probably start when you're starting to think about this. There's just general routes that people would take. So there's a really good book, Jimmy Cornell, World Cruising Routes. So it's going to say, okay, well, if you're coming from Europe and you want to go to the Caribbean, you're going to sail down to the Canary Islands in November and then cross the Atlantic. and that's just to keep you out of the. It's just to keep you out of the way of hurricanes, and you've got the most favorable conditions most of the time, and also you want to be sailing downwind, so you don't want to be
You're attacking back and forth.
You just don't want to be beating into waves for, any length of time.
Yeah.
Going with them is really beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
And so is sailing to Hawaii downwind?
From where you are, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And so how long would it take to sail from LA to Hawaii, do you think?
Really fast boats do the Transpac in 5 days.
No.
But it's probably more like 10 or 12.
Yeah. So what would the Vagabond?
Guess,
what would the Vagabond do one of those in? The original La Vagabond.
I'd need to look at the distance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pull up the distance. So, like, what would it take? Tell me some of the ones
in nautical miles.
Is that different than air miles?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So what were some of the long distance trips you took on the Vagabond?
Galapagos to the Marquesas. I can't remember exactly how far that is.
Yeah.
But it was 21 days at sea.
Really?
Yeah.
By yourself or with Elayna?
With Elayna and my dad.
And your dad?
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what do you do when you get to the Galapagos? Do you have to have like a passport for
the Galapagos, it's clearly an amazing spot, right? But for a sailor, it's really bureaucratic. You've got to fill out all this paperwork. You can only go to certain specific places. You need to pay money to do any of the they wanted you to pay money to go for a swim with the seals, which were just in the ocean. So like to jump in the ocean next to your boat was going to be, it's a really weird setup.
Really?
I'd prefer to just fly there, hang out and do that trip on a liveaboard there. I think next time I'll actually just sail straight past because I was a bit jaded about the
you
whole
don't
thing.
seem like the kind of guy that's like
wants to go on tour groups.
Yeah.
From here to Hawaii, so 12, 15 days.
12, 15 days.
Mm.
So what does
depends on the wind though, right?
So then what time of year would you do that, do you think? You just read that book and go?
From here to Hawaii?
Yeah.
It would just be a quick Google.
Really?
Yeah.
Best time to sail to Hawaii from LA. And now let's talk about boats. So, but I want to get back to some scary times in the ocean on those transatlantic ones.
Yep.
So let's stay there for a sec.
Okay.
So tell me about the most scared you've ever been on your boat.
That was sailing. That was when we took Gretta across the North Atlantic.
Oh, that's right. You took the kid.
Gretta Thunberg.
How the fuck did that work out?
Yeah. That was a pretty wild trip.
How did you get her?
It's a bit unclear.
Really?
Same dude, Jimmy Cornell, that wrote those world cruising route books. He contacted us, but I'd also replied to a tweet of Gretta's, and then Outremer or Grand Large were involved, but I honestly really can't remember, because from the point when we said maybe to all right, let's go, it was just mayhem and chaos trying to get the boat ready to go to do that trip for only 7 days, and then we did that North Atlantic crossing for 19, and it was just wrong time of year and
Really?
just insane. Yeah,
And it was
really
like everyone
weather.
was physically ill, right?
People were seasick. Is that what you mean by?
Yeah.
Nah, I've never been seasick.
Really?
No.
I've never been seasick either.
Nice one.
Yeah, but I think
You're built for it.
No, I don't know. I've seen other people get seasick, and I've seen people do the wrong thing on a boat. Like I remember I had a director take her monitor under the boat when we were going out to swim with sharks in Hawaii, and she went under the boat and into like the galley or whatever, and was watching the monitor, and I was like, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yeah.
was like, I wouldn't watch the monitor at all. I would just
yeah.
hang out. But and then she got violently ill, and then we went out.
Look at the horizon.
Yeah, that's all I do is just look out like this, and I can get lost in doing stuff with my hands, but we went out in Japan to go scuba diving with whale sharks, and it was the roughest water I've ever been in my life. Like I don't know what it was, but it was you couldn't get your scuba gear together. Like it was just like everything's going everywhere, and we're doing it for television, so you had to get it done. And so
was this the Travel Channel that you were?
Yeah, I was on Travel Channel for a while.
Yeah.
And so we jump in the water, and I'm like, thank God. And we go down and we swim with whale sharks for like 40 minutes, and then we come up, and everyone's throwing up. They're all over the side of the boat, and I was like, has it been bad up here? And they're like, get in the fucking boat now. And then I had the best udon noodles I've ever had in my entire fucking life.
I was on a boat. We were going from Cape Verde. I was just going from one island in Cape Verde to the other. It was a ferry, and that gets really, really rough there.
Yeah.
And the everyone on the ferry were like local Cape Verde people. So it was probably 40 or 50 people that had all vomited, and I picked my feet up like I am now, and that vomit was just going like on the deck like this. It was horrendous.
God,
inside a ferry, it was so horrible.
Oh my God, that makes me want to throw up. My problem is if I see other people throw up, I want to throw up.
Yeah.
We all know how hard it is to make something out of nothing. Just the thought of turning that big idea into reality can feel overwhelming. How do you even get started? According to a study conducted by Fiverr, 25% of people revealed they had business ideas in the past 18 months, but nearly 60% of those people never pursued it. That was me my entire fucking life. My entire fucking life. And now I'm doing stuff. And I'll tell you what, I'm doing stuff because I have a team around me to do it for me. Take a look at what I've got. I want you to see part of my team right there on the floor. With Fiverr, turning that idea into something is easier than ever. Millions of freelancers across the globe help clients turn ideas into successful realities every day. Experts in data, design, marketing, technology, website building, music, video animation. By the way, these are all people I employ are so ready to help. Simply search on Fiverr for the service that you need, set the timeline and the price you want. Fiverr will provide a list of freelancers who will meet your criteria. Browse their portfolios, read reviews, and know exactly what you're paying for before ordering anything. It's a simple-to-use platform with great customer service and qualified freelancers in every field. I'm telling you right now, every successful something was once a nothing. That's true. That's very true. Head to Fiverr.com and turn that nothing into a something today. Receive 10% off your first order by using my code BERT at Fiverr.com. Again, that's Fiverr.com. Again, that's Fiverr.com and use the code BERT. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We talk about BetterHelp a lot on this show. I talk about therapy a lot on this show. And this month, we're discussing the stigmas based around mental health. For example, some people think you should wait until things are unbearable to go to therapy. That is not true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get that bad, and it can help you avoid those lows. Many people think therapy is for so-called crazy people. Maybe I'm not a great example of this, but I've been in therapy. I am in therapy. I'm cool to say Tommy Buns is in therapy. My wife, you know my wife. My wife's not crazy. Well, she might be crazy because she married me, but she's been in therapy. She's the one that put me in therapy. Therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognize that all humans have emotions and we need to learn to control them and not avoid them. And that we've been taught that mental health shouldn't be a part of normal life, but that's wrong. We all take care of our bodies in the gym. We go to the doctor, go to the dentist, go to the nutritionalist. We focus on our nutrition. Why wouldn't we be working on our mind just as much as all the other parts of our body? BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. You can do it on the treadmill like I do sometimes. It's so much easier that way. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. And Bertcast listeners right now get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Bert. That's betterhelp.com/Bert. When we went spearfishing, I can't make fun of anybody because it was pretty rough, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was rough, but I guess it was, and we were in the water for a while, and everyone was throwing up that stayed on the boat, and I go, just get in the water. There were sharks in the water, but
yeah,
I think maybe I'm different than you, but like I grew up I grew up knowing that enough sharks were in the water that it's not really terrifying to me.
Nah, awesome. Yeah. Sharks are. I mean, they're beautiful creatures. They're good fun to be around.
Yeah, and even spearfishing, they were like, and I forget what they were, but they were swimming below us, but they were far enough away that you were like, if they come up, you just give it to them, and I'm not gonna fucking fight them for a barracuda.
Yeah,
but I was definitely in my phase of watching you guys a lot because I was watching you guys spearfish, and I was like, oh, that was like, it's just fucking awesome. It just seems so great. When did you get into spearfishing?
As soon as I got on the boat, I got right into it. But I'd done a freediving course and a little bit of spearfishing as well. But I mean, I'm quite good now. But it's similar to sailing. Like it takes a long time to get dialed in.
Yeah. How long can you hold your breath for?
4.5 minutes.
Okay, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
I got 1:30 is how long I hold my breath, but that doesn't get you down to those.
No, but you come with me. I'll get you whatever. How deep can you dive?
Now not very. Like when I was young, like 40 feet was like where
What's that in meters? 15 meters.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
40 feet is how far we
good.
would go down.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, it was the Bahamas, so it was like it just felt different. I went down when I was right before I started on Travel Channel. I went down about 30 feet. We were on a snorkeling trip in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
I went down about maybe 20 feet. Maybe 20 feet. I went down about 20 feet, and I got on my back, and I was swimming upside down, and I was going to go scare my wife, and I swam into a reef in my head, and I fucked my neck up really bad.
Oh, right.
And I almost knocked myself unconscious.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I remember being like, that was the first time I was like, that could have ended really bad.
Yeah. I've done a lot of spearfishing by myself, which is
you're not supposed to do.
No. Please, if anyone's listening to this, don't fucking do that. It's really dangerous. Yeah.
Why so?
Shallow water blackout.
Yeah.
So you or you know what you just said, you bumped your head, like some little thing happens, or you shoot a fish and there's a tangle with the line. Like there's just a million different things that can go wrong, but mainly shallow water blackout. And the older I get, I think the less stupid I've become, and I'm not gonna be doing it by myself anymore.
Really?
All. Yeah. It really is just too dangerous.
What's the one? There was one fish that you were really happy to get. Was it a mackerel?
No, a dogtooth tuna.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Is that the one I watched you get?
Maybe I was in the South Pacific. The thing is, right, that was a tiny. Those fish end up. I mean, if I'll use pounds, they might get to 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Like they can be yeah, exactly. And my fish that I got was tiny, but it was my fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd spent, Elayna and I had sailed all through the South Pacific. It was just me and her on this boat. We didn't have the correct gear. We didn't have the right setup. Like we were just, it was just me and her getting by. And we went, so do you know what the Chiwamotos are?
No.
So there's on your trip that I'm recommending that you do from the Galapagos.
By the way, you already know that I'm thinking about selling this as a TV show. I know I have a buyer, and then we'll make some money, and we'll sail to Hawaii, and we got to bring another person. We got to bring like how many? First of all, we're gonna have a segment. We're gonna break down what boat we want, and who we want to take with us.
Yep.
And then what we're planning to do on this trip, because I'm planning on drinking, so I need a couple
captain,
more hands on deck.
Captain,
yeah. Well, that's you.
Yeah, okay.
But,
I can not drink or not drink so much.
Yeah. Or just have other people that can be responsible at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to get to that. But wait, tell me about your dog tuna.
Okay, so we're in the Tuamotus. So on your trip that I'm recommending that you do, you go from here to the Galapagos, and then you go to the Marquesas, and then just south of there's a bunch of islands kind of thing, but really it's just a ring of reef. So there's generally 1 or 2 passages in or out. Excuse me. So you've got to go at slack tide, because if you go in with the tide or out with the tide, there can be wind against current and massive waves, or you're going in too fast and you crash into the reef. Like it's pretty gnarly. But in that particular spot, where there's the break in the reef, the dogtooth tuna hang out just on the edge of that current.
Yeah. And
we were anchored just north of a really beautiful place called Fakarava, where they shot some of the shark stuff for Blue Planet there. So we're on an island just north of there, and we had the boat pulled in this little, we're in this like real shallow, awesome little spot next to the town, and we could just jump into the tender and cruise out of the pass and be spearfishing right on the edge of the current. And there was a bunch of really big dogtooth tuna. There was a bunch of massive sharks, but in the end, I only managed to get a little puppy. But it's the fish that I'm by far the most proud of, because we went so far and tried so hard to get this fish. It's just it's a real. I don't like to use the word trophy.
Is that it?
But that's the one. But yeah, that's really small, hey, compared to how they get.
Compared to 300 pounds, but still, I don't know what you do with a 300-pound fish.
Exactly.
Other than go for a ride.
Yeah. So they're so highly sought after by spearfishermen because they hang out in these gnarly currents, and you've really got to go deep to get them. So I was diving down 100 times a day to 20 meters and just hanging on for about a minute and waiting for the fish to come in. And I'm like, flashing CDs around. Like, well, I was using really primitive kit to try and get this thing.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I had a weight on a rope. Like, so spearfishermen around the world are just laughing their heads off at how crap my setup was.
Really?
Yeah. It was like really basic and shit, but I got the fish. I got the one that I
Have you ever heard of Kimmy Werner?
Yeah.
I had her on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's so I'm telling you right now, and I know Kimmy is we get down to Hawaii, we go spearfishing with Kimmy.
You've been with her before?
No, she invited me and said, whenever you come down, we'll go spearfishing.
Amazing.
But there was a little bit of a pandemic, and she had a baby.
Yeah.
But I trust me when I say I'm taking her up on that.
Yeah, so she's awesome, man.
Yeah, she is. Did you ever hear her story about winning the world champion spearfishing? So they have these championships in spearfishing. They're held they're not just held in all. If you want another beer, we got one for you.
Yeah, I'd love one.
Halston. So they're held in weird fucking places. They're not just held in the most beautiful places. They're like, all right, this one's just outside Baltimore, in the Chesapeake.
Yeah.
And so she goes to the Chesapeake. I think it's the Chesapeake.
Thanks,
and they give her a list of 3 fish she has to catch.
Yeah.
And or 5 fish she has to catch. And they're like, all right, that's it. And then she goes out in her boat and she dives down and she can't see fucking shit. She gets down to I want to say to 30 feet, 40 feet and can't see shit. It's dark and she's just going deeper and deeper going, I can't see anything. She pops up and she's getting scared. She's like, I can't see anything. I don't know what's down there. And I just keep going. And they're saying, don't worry. Once you get past that, then there's the current. You can see everything.
Clears up.
Yeah. You got to get past that. And she was like, I went that whole first day and was like, I couldn't get fucking past it. And I got back in my bed and was like, this shit's not happening to me. I'm going to do this. And the next day she just went out and just went sunk and got past it and was like, it was crystal clear. She could see everything. And then she saw all these fish pink, 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 wins the world champion.
Oh, she got the world champion.
Yeah, she was the world champion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is a fucking badass because she just decided she wanted to do this. And then
she's everyone's favorite.
Yeah,
she's
and
amazing.
she's the sweetest person in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
She is the sweetest person in the world.
That's so cool. That
I got a big Hawaii trip planned for us.
Yeah, man.
We go Nathan Florence. Him and his brother took a boat. They did this.
John.
You know who John Florence is?
We've messaged each other. Yeah.
Yeah, John Florence.
He's got a gunboat 48.
They took a boat. Type in John Florence sailboat. He went and took a boat from
I've
Hawaii.
seen these. These episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched those, and I was like, that looks so much.
They're
fucking
really,
fun.
really well done. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, So wait, what size boat do you think we need for this trip? Because we want to bring a couple people, and we're gonna need people to shoot it.
You could get a well, what's your budget? Do you want a monohull or a catamaran?
I think probably a catamaran's more sturdy, right?
Sturdy,
meaning like less movement, less cameramen getting sick.
Yeah. So you could do worse than a gunboat 68. I mean, that's sort of the pinnacle of the offshore.
Gunboat 68.
This is so much fun.
So that thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very expensive, dude.
No, but hang on. I'm not paying for this.
Yeah. All right.
We're going to sell this.
Well, then definitely get this.
I just got I got a message from a guy who runs a media company, we'll call it.
Yeah.
And he just said, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" And I was like, I texted back, nothing. He's like, "Hey, by the way, I got this message from 3 different dudes. I'm on tour right now. All of them said, let's get lunch when you're here. I'd love to talk to you." And all of them were like, "I'm not going to pitch you a TV show, but if you want to do anything." And then one of them was like, "Hey, man, I want to take you lunch and I want you to do whatever you want to do." And I was like, I got an idea. By the way, I'll fucking sell this to Netflix. Netflix would do this in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put a bunch of comedians on it. Fucking sail to fucking Hawaii. 10 days. That's
a bunch of seasick comedians.
Oh, a bunch of seasick comedians. It'd be a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That would be.
Do you
really
follow comedy at all?
Yeah, like a fair bit.
Like who? Who do you like?
Dave Chappelle.
Okay, we're not getting him. Keep going.
I really love Bill Burr.
Okay, we can get him.
Guy that you said.
Yeah, we can get him.
I've seen you with it's Tom Segura, right?
He's on the boat. Keep going.
Yeah. Comedians. Jerry Seinfeld.
He might be tough. We can probably get Sebastian Maniscalco. Do you know him?
Nah.
You'd like him.
Okay.
Trying to think about there's a couple earthy comedians we could get that would really enjoy that. Like we would really get in. Oh, we need some girls. Nikki Glaser.
Yeah.
Nikki Glaser would be great. We got to bring Tom's wife. Make Tom and his kids come too.
Yeah.
So how many people?
So
this is a beautiful fucking boat, by the way.
Oh, dude, it's.
What's
everything.
that cost? It's got to cost like 12 million
US. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I mean, but you could sell it afterwards, I guess.
No, we're gonna lease one. We're gonna fucking get. By the way, we're not sailing it back either. We're leaving it in Hawaii and we're all flying back fucking private.
I'll sail it back.
You'll sail it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
But better would be, I guess you're gonna lease it, right? But if you bought it, better. I'm telling you, this trip to go from here down to the Galapagos and then all the way through to Australia through the Tuamotus, that would change your life.
Really?
Oh, dude, you'd come back a different person. You'd lose your mind and you'd absolutely love it. 7
million?
But you also need time to appreciate that lifestyle. Like you've got to probably 9 months and you'd have the best. You'd remember it. It'd be the thing that you and your wife and your kids spoke about for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm fucking a little busy. I don't have 9 months.
I can imagine, yeah.
I don't have 9 days. I don't have 9 hours right now. I'm literally booked to the gills until mid-April.
What was that place that you sold out recently that you were super stoked on?
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never been to Red Rocks?
Nah.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
really know.
Oh, pull up a picture at Red Rocks. It is fucking amazing. Red Rocks is one of the the premier venues in our country.
Is it? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty stoked on it, so I knew it was going to be big.
It was 10,000 tickets, so it's a lot of tickets to sell.
Yeah, well done, man.
Yeah, thank you. And it's probably the fucking highlight of my career.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Shooting a movie was pretty big. My specials. I mean, like I've had a few highlights, but when you talk about like probably the best
stand-up comedy side of things,
it's probably the best venue I've ever done. I've done some pretty amazing venues though. Also, I did the Sydney Opera House, so that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't have a good set, to be honest with you, at the Sydney Opera House.
Nah.
I had a bad set.
So when you said, did you say that you did a joke about Elayna and I, or just a joke about Australians?
About you? No, it was about you guys. But there's not enough people. No. But it was about you guys. But it was based on you guys, but it was about Australians.
Okay.
Yeah. So when did you guys start monetizing your when did the money shift?
So we ran out of money. We didn't have so many subscribers on the YouTube channel, and we just ran out of money.
Well, I saw the video you posted recently, and you got 70,000 downloads, and she's like, "It's going viral."
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, "All I know about viral is chocolate rain." You're like,
or
this
the South
good.
Park episode riffing on that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But so what was the trajectory of her posting videos? Was it just every now and then when you started?
Yeah, it was almost never. Like
really,
it was probably she'd post one and it went viral.
Yeah.
She would say, and then we posted another one and it also went quite well, and then we posted another one and it actually went properly viral, but we weren't making any money from it, and to me it was a distraction from doing the jobs on board, which were just mounting, and
really,
oh yeah, to maintain a blue water vessel is very, very difficult and time consuming.
Really?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's your life. That whole thing.
See, that's part of owning a sailboat I don't think I'd enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. So you can get someone else to do that.
I mean, when I came back from Australia, I was pretty set that I was buying a sailboat. I was like, nothing too fancy, but I'm going to spend good money on it.
Yeah.
And I looked, and all anyone said was, you don't want to buy one. You want to share one with 3 dudes.
Yeah.
Like you want to each buy a portion of it, and you can use it when you want to use it. And then someone else was like, I don't think you'd enjoy sailing a boat. I think you'd enjoy being on a boat.
Yeah.
And then I got talked into not just buying a boat with 3. It went from buying a boat by myself to not buying a boat by myself, buy it with 3 dudes, to just lease a boat just rent a boat when you want with a captain, and then you can go out in the ocean and get drunk. That's what you want. Mm. And I was like, yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want.
That's what you want?
I think ultimately I just want to be I want to be on the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually
just hire a boat and a captain every now and then. I know some good people.
I'll take you up on that, especially if you know anyone in LA, because I would love to get out. I love being on the water. I love getting in the water. And I like I said, I think I feel like I get power from it. I know my wife feels the same way.
Awesome.
Yeah. But I initially thought when I was watching your videos, I was like, I wonder if this is like a great way to work on your drinking. Cause I was like, you're busy all day. You're working. It's like, you ever notice when you're making dinner, you're not really drinking. You have a glass of wine, but you don't touch it because you're making dinner.
Yeah.
And I was like, that'll be sailing for me. I'll get out there, I'll sail, I'll enjoy so much of the sailing aspect of it that when we get to the place, maybe I'll have a beer, but I'll know I got more sailing ahead of me.
So that is the ultimate, right? You're having too much fun that the drinking just fell by the wayside. That's a brilliant, that's my favorite sort of holiday.
Yeah. Right.
That. Yeah.
And then you, by the end of the day, you're like, I'm actually kind of
a bit sunburned and tired, and you have an awesome night's sleep. You're up early.
Yeah.
Feeling $1 million back in the water again.
It's yeah. And I mean, I remember watching you guys make meals on your boat and going like, God, that looks fucking good. Like, cause Elayna is kind of like she's like a little bit of like a insightful dietary person.
Yeah.
Like she was the first person I heard talk about, not ayahuasca. It was ashwagandha.
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 Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, everyone's bringing up ashwagandha to me.
Yeah. So she used to be right into all of that stuff and like probably fairly cutting edge. Like she was listening to all the podcasts, reading all the books.
Yeah, you guys did listen to podcasts and listen to books on tape a lot or on audio.
Yeah. Audible books. We do a bit of work with them. And then, we listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff as well, yeah.
So you guys ran out of money, and then when did you realize you could make money from YouTube?
Right. So we ran out of money and we flew back to Australia and I got work on the oil rigs again, and Elayna made a CD, which she's very embarrassed about. I think it's actually incredible.
Really?
She did a cover of one of the songs on Pulp Fiction, which was just epic. Like I just thought that it was just so amazing.
Is it on iTunes?
I should know that. I don't actually know. I've got the CD.
Wait, what's the I'll tell you if it is.
Elayna C it would be under. But and then our audience sort of flipped out. An audience that I didn't even really know that we had. Because this was really early days. And Elayna was saying, "Oh, everyone's annoyed." I'm like, "Who's everyone? Like, what's really going on here?" So we went back to Australia. I got work offshore. Elayna made the CD, and then people were kind of annoyed or angry, but also like brainstorming how they could get us back on the boat. And they actually said to us, you guys should sign up to this crowdfunding site called Patreon, and we'll all chip in per video.
Yeah, I have a Patreon account. I didn't even keep going. And
so that took a bit of convincing again for me to sign up because it was a new thing. I was a bit hesitant. After a while, we did sign up, and we got a whole bunch of people on the crowdfunding like really early. So we sort of signed up, and then the next day it was sort of like, "Oh, well, how many videos can you make a month, Elayna?" And she's like, 4, and we'd been making 1 a month. And I was like, "Are you sure?" And she goes, yeah, absolutely. Like, quite wide-eyed and naive at that point in her life. She wouldn't mind me saying. And so she did it. I mean, she absolutely did it, but she was going to say yes no matter what, right? So we went back to the boat and we promised everyone a video every Monday, which we maintained for the next, I think, 5 years until we had our second kid recently when we didn't post on consecutive Mondays.
Have you guys only released one a week?
We would occasionally put one out on a Friday as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I still got hair, right? I'm 49 years old. I know so many dudes that are 35 that don't have hair. 66% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. And once you start notice it thinning, that's when you do something about it. That's when you got to do something about it. The second you start seeing it move backwards, stop it in its tracks. That's what I did. I did it when I was 22 years old. I noticed I was 21 years. No, I was 22. Might have been 21. Yeah, it was right when I got a Caesar haircut. I had long hair and then I cut it short. And then everyone was like, "Hey, man, I think you're losing your hair." And I fucking panicked. You don't have to panic. Go to forhims.com. Forhims.com is one-stop shopping for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness, all for men. It's created by a man that knew that some conversations for men are better handled online. So you don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to wait in a long pharmacy line. 4Hims will connect you with licensed medical professionals online, which would save you hours. Completely confidential and discreet. You answer a few quick questions. Medical professional is going to review. They're going to determine it's right for you, and they can prescribe you medication to treat that hair loss, and it is shipped directly and discreetly to your door. Right now, Hims is giving you their best offer yet. If you're not happy with the results, and after 90 days, Hims will give you a full refund. And right now, my listeners can get their first visit absolutely for free. Go to forhims.com/Bertcast. That's forhims.com/Bertcast. Remember, prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See websites for full details and important safety information. And also remember, that's forhims.com/Bertcast. When it comes to healthcare, it's important to make sure you're getting your money's worth. Crowd Health offers more flexible and affordable healthcare options without the hassle of insurance. What are you talking about, Bert? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Crowd Health is a community of people who are tired of paying into a broken system. Being in the Crowd Health community can save hundreds of dollars monthly and put thousands of dollars back in your pockets. The memberships are a monthly subscription. You can start or stop whenever it's convenient for you. Simple and transparent pricing, customized to your fit and your needs. Crowd Health lowers your monthly healthcare costs, and you can see any doctor you want. It's super simple. Using their app, find nearly any doctor in the country with quality ranking score. Scan the bills and throw them away. Crowd Health takes it from there. Press a button to receive virtual care anytime, anywhere. Crowd Health gets rid of the insurance middleman and passes the savings on to its members. 100% of your monthly membership pays for actual healthcare costs, helping the whole Crowd Health community stay healthy while keeping more money in your pocket. Crowd Health is able to offer amazing prices because of its community and health-conscious members. But for a limited time, my listeners get their first month for free. And after you've been a member, Crowd Health will include a fitness wearable. That's 30 days to try risk-free plus the fitness wearable. Just go to joincrowdhealth.com/fit and enter the code BERT at sign-up. That is joincrowdhealth.com/fit and enter the promo code BERT. Remember, Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's a community-powered alternative. Terms and conditions may apply. God, it seemed like there seems like, how many videos do they have on their YouTube, Holston?
I think the number is like 350 or maybe a bit more than that. But then there's extra ones that we throw out on a Friday, which we won't number, which is sort of standalone. It's not part of the chronological story.
So you have how many subscribers? 1.6 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the recipe is for a good video?
For us, it's going to involve sailing. But do you So I would open up and I'd be like, okay, so let's go for a sail. We're going to talk about the sail. We're going to do this thing. Like some nice blue water is always
beautiful
good.
shots.
And then if we can live off the land and spend some time on the beach as well, that's sort of perfection.
Yeah.
But in terms of like from a producer director viral video point of view, I mean, titles and thumbnails are important. You need to create intrigue. Is that the sort of thing that you're after?
Is it? But do you guys? I mean, I wondered. I know that David Dobrik knows this.
Yeah.
I know that Casey Neistat knows this.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like you guys knew that.
No.
It seemed like you guys were like.
We absolutely did not know.
Go to their most viewed video. Do you know what your most viewed video is? I think I do. Oh yeah. I've watched that one.
Yeah. So that was real early days. There you go. That's
episode 12.
6 years ago. Yeah. And then the next sort of 3 were all in a row sort of thing. They're all 2 years ago. And the channel really it went viral there for a while. I think we got about 600,000 or 800,000 subscribers. I
wonder if that's when I found you guys.
4 or 5 months.
I can tell you right now. I'm going to go to Instagram and see when I first messaged you.
That was pretty wild for me as well, getting a message from you. I was like, Jesus Christ.
All right, you ready? I first started watching you guys in, let's see. Their tag right there. If you want to check out the YouTube page of them sailing around the world, I highly recommend it. Although I will tell you, you will become obsessed with it, as I am. And now I'm definitely buying a sailboat. 2019. 2019 is when I found you guys, and I was like, I'm definitely buying a sailboat. This was me in Australia.
Yeah.
And then I just would. This is the show I'm obsessed with. This is 2019. I can't stop watching it. I'm not joking, maybe 150 episodes. I have not been sleeping. Yeah, I wasn't sleeping.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I wasn't sleeping because I was in Australia and I was jet lagged. And so I was just up all night and I would just sit and watch you guys and be like this is what I want to do. This is everything just, I don't know. I think it's like fantasy fulfillment. But it was also that, like, I don't know. I've said this a million times, but you guys were so cool. And so what, like, what is the main plan now for you guys? Like, because you do have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just going to stay on the boat?
Yeah, I think so. We're building that new trimaran.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
So you get rid of La Vagabond and you get that French boat, right?
Yep.
How did that work out? Did you buy that boat? Did like a YouTube share with that boat?
No. So they helped us with a loan. And then that was the main form of assistance that we got from Outremer.
Yeah. They helped you with the loan.
Yeah.
And then you guys get, how much is that rude to ask? Like, how much does those boats cost? Were they really expensive?
You can see that online. So I think it's about 640,000 euro.
Which is,
it's like, a lot of cash.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
but you designed it kind of, right?
No, not the Outremer. No,
didn't
that's a standard production.
Yeah, but didn't you went over there and watched them build it, maybe?
No, we were making videos, so we got there pretty late and just sort of launched the boat. It was pretty
didn't
awesome.
You fly? I swear to God, I thought you went over.
We went over and sort of shook some hands and said hello to everyone.
And so did they reach out to you guys?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had different plans initially, and I was like, no, we don't want to borrow the boat for a year. We want it. Give it to us. Have we got a deal for you? But then they helped us out with the loan, which was really, really handy for us at the time. We couldn't have done it otherwise.
Really? And
the conditions that Elayna was editing under at the time, having worked offshore, I was like, I know tattooed 150 kilo dudes that have been to jail that would not they would not do what you're doing right now. I didn't tell her that, but I was like, we need to sort this out. This is a bit rough.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How so?
We would be sailing, the computer would be crashing. She's down below, kind of getting a bit seasick, editing, and in a salty, humid environment. It was just you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah. When did you guys? When did she upgrade computers? Because that was like she was editing on like a Dell or something, right?
Yeah, on this dinosaur for ages.
And are you comfortable spending money for editing camera equipment and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're doing okay now, money wise.
But I meant like you seem like someone that would be like, you seem like someone that uses something until it absolutely cannot go anymore.
With camera equipment and computer stuff, business things that are a tool. Yeah, I mean you have to upgrade. You have to go with the flow there.
Okay, and so then you got that.
But I've still got the flannel, the checkered shirt that I was wearing in episode 1.
Really?
I wear that all the time.
So did you sold La Vagabond?
We sold the first one to a family in New Zealand.
Fans?
Yeah, they were. Not massive fans. I mean, they were interested they were searching for a boat at the time. And then flew over to France and took hold of this pretty.
You had Lenny at the time,
vessel.
Right?
No.
She was pregnant?
Nope. No, that came much later.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you got, and then that boat. What's the difference between La Vagabond and that boat?
It's probably 10 times the price. So it's probably 10 times better.
Is it 10 times better?
Yeah, you go to do stuff and everything works, and it's just a superior vessel in sort of every way. It's a catamaran, so it's twice the boat. It's longer. All of the electrics were brand new. Like it was a new boat, so it was just really, really good.
And what was? Go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
Well, then it's faster, so you can. And we touched on this earlier. When you're picking weather and weather conditions, as you're looking at a forecast, which is what I do a lot now, you've got a lot of options. If you can go fast, and if you can go very fast, you've got heaps of options. So
really,
yeah.
To run around storms.
Well, yeah, kind of. to put your boat in the best position more often so that you're less likely to have a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't really run around storms, but you can get.
You can't?
No, you're not. You need to be really far. I mean, there are maxi trimarans that can go at 40 knots, and yeah, they're going to run around storms. Hurricanes go really slow in the Philippines. Hurricanes, you shouldn't be in areas that have got hurricanes happening.
Never be in yeah.
Yeah, just don't be in that area. So, but if you were, it really is only 200 miles, which is a day's sail, to get south of the position where it's likely to be. But yeah, with a general forecast, if there's bad weather coming, you could get, say, south of your position by 200 miles and find yourself with 25 knots of wind and 3 meter waves rather than 45 knots of wind and 7 meter waves.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so
that's what you're doing.
It's not life and death. It could be life and death, but more likely it's comfort.
Have you been in situations where it's life and death?
Yeah.
When?
I would say that North Atlantic crossing, there was a bit of gnarly shit around.
Like
us.
how so? Tell me the story.
So this was the one where we took Greta across the
And
North
just so
Atlantic.
everyone knows, that's the young lady, the Swedish chick.
Yeah.
Who was kind of a viral meme, and
the climate change
young lady, and I just realized right now, you guys had to sail her because she can't get in a plane.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fucking talk about when you go, oh, I wish I just kept my mouth shut. Fuck.
So yeah, she decided to sail, which I think is great.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
And that's a pretty gnarly decision for a 17-year-old girl.
I don't think she's the average 17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I know she's not.
Yeah.
I have a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And never in a million years would my 17-year-old be that. That's a very different person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but with regards to the weather, we were.
So wait, start me from the beginning. So you get the call that she needs passage.
Yep.
And I would imagine you are like, I don't know who she is. And I imagine Elayna's like, oh my God, this is going to be great.
No, I knew who she was.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we both knew who she was. We were fans, but not sort of mega fans of what she was doing. But I mean, yeah, we're happy to try and help.
And you guys are environmentalists because you love the ocean.
Yeah.
You're environmentalists out of necessity.
Yeah, kind of.
You're like, yeah, you don't trash my place.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, yeah, I touched on it earlier. I had this monumental task of getting a boat. So a boat, you're sort of running it down over a season, and then at the end of the season you pull it out of the water and you do a whole bunch of jobs because it's much easier to do it when you're in an area where there's a mechanic, there's a shop, you can go down the road.
Run it down. All I'm thinking is like stuff barnacles.
Not barnacles, just things are breaking, things are the boat is getting worn down.
Yeah.
It's not functioning at 100%. So it was at the end of the season when normally you would pull the boat out of the water and Elayna and I would fly home to Australia, have a couple of months off, come back to the boat, do a whole bunch of repairs, and then start sailing again. So we got this call and they're like, can you do this? And I looked at the weather and I was like, maybe. And then we had to think about it and I had a big look at the weather and I called some people and then I was like, yeah, okay, we can do it. We need to leave at the exact right time and do everything perfectly, but I think we can do it.
What are you seeing when you look at the weather like that? Are you seeing?
So I'm looking at average number of storms in a particular area at a particular time of year. So I know in November between the Chesapeake and Bermuda, in November, there's probably an average of 4 systems that go through there that are blowing at above 40 knots. which is shit.
Above 40 knots is where it gets hairy.
Well, I mean, it's pretty uncomfortable. And then also how close they come to you. And then if there's one here and one here, you're getting intersecting wave trains. So your boat's sort of falling down holes. So yeah, it's you're just trying to pick and then place your boat in the safest spot all the time. But then my job at that point, once we agreed to do it, was to get all of the jobs done, which would normally take 3 months, done in 7 days. So I was just working for 18 hours.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was insane, man. So
and where were you at the time when you got the call? You were in
the Chesapeake.
Chesapeake. I always remember following you then.
Yeah. And so we reached out to our patrons, and Wayne, and I've forgotten his wife's name, reached out and they said, yeah, we've got a dock on the water. You can pull your boat up, and I know all the people, and we can get a whole bunch of stuff done. So we stayed there for I guess 7 days, 6 or 7 days. We actually ran aground coming into his area.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty funny and embarrassing. But we just ran aground on a sandbank, and I jumped off the boat and pushed us off, and then jumped back on, and we motored up the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And then we got the boat ready. We got Nikki Henderson agreed to come and help us, and she's just this like female sailing rock star. Like
really?
She's since having done that sail with her, if there was anyone that I had to pick to go to war with, she's going to be one of those people.
Really?
In the trench with me.
Nikki Henderson.
Yeah, she's
not Ricky Henderson, Nikki Henderson.
Yeah, she is a legend.
Do you know who Ricky Henderson is?
Nah.
Oh, well, very
good. Is it
different.
a baseballer?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I thought that it might have
Ricky
been.
Henderson. He was amazing. Is this her?
Yep.
Just a fucking badass sailor.
Yeah, she really is, man.
So
and an incredible leader, like just really good in the tough times.
Who was really?
Mm.
Who was the person organizing this passage? Was it like
Me.
NATO? It was just you?
Yeah.
It was like this kid Greta goes, I need to make it to this conference. Can you guys take me? And you're like, yeah. So there's no funding. Like when I saw you guys were all in like rain gear. That's like you guys getting rain gear. There's no like no company is going, hey, let's give you $100,000 to get everything ready.
Nah.
I didn't know.
So yeah, then we took the boat down, and we had to, I mean, it got smashed up a bit in that crossing, and then
really?
Elayna and I paid for the repairs.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't seem fair at all.
Nah. But it's the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the thing that I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
So it was. I'm really, really glad that we did it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, when you look back in life,
yeah,
when you're old and your boys are, you have 2 boys, right?
Yeah.
When your boys are telling, they're gonna be like, oh wait, I was on the boat with her.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fucking feather in the cap.
Yeah.
What was the scale? Like, at what point were you like, oh fuck, this was a big mistake?
So we left and we went out. There was this really big system coming through. So November in the North Atlantic, it's getting into winter, right? And that's just not where you're supposed to be. So, and I've since looked, because I was really interested, like where's the worst place to be sailing? Like where's the worst weather conditions in the world at any point in time of the year? And that's not a great place to be. It's starting to get up there.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, man. So we were getting these pretty horrible forecasts, and I was starting to think, maybe this is not doable. We might have to pull the pin. And then there was one particular system that was coming through, and on the tail end of that, it was looking okay for a couple of days, and we really needed to get from where we were past Bermuda quickly and with the best weather that we could get. So that past Bermuda, the chances, the likelihood of those plus 40 knot storms coming is less frequent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hence the Bermuda Triangle.
Hence the Bermuda Triangle. Exactly.
Have you been to the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, the Bermuda Triangle is just Bermuda to the Chesapeake and then down to the Bahamas, I think.
So I've probably been in it.
You've probably been there. Yeah. So we went out and then we weren't going fast enough. The forecast and the conditions we experienced were slightly different. There was wind against the Gulf Stream, which was causing bigger, choppier waves than we had anticipated. But Nikki and I we threw up every single sail. Like we made so many changes. We were working really well together. But we weren't quite getting far enough along our course. And then at a certain point, the weather people that we were talking to are like, look, you're going to get smashed if you stay where you are. You need to head directly south now. You're just not going fast enough. So, and I got a few messages and I'd been working so hard for the previous 7 days and then maybe spent a night not really sleeping that night. And then I was getting all these messages saying like, not you're going to die, but there is some serious shit headed your way. You need to get the hell out of where you are. And the message that really knocked me around was, are you aware? I won't say who sent it.
Wait, why? Is it like a?
It's a friend.
A friend?
Yeah.
A famous friend?
Not famous.
Okay, just a friend who sails.
Yeah. And he was like, if you stay where you are, our forecast says that you're going to have 8 meters swell coming one way and also 8 meters swell coming another, which means that you're in big trouble, basically. That's the sort of thing that your boat may or may not be able to handle. So you're always thinking about minimizing risk. And at that point, you're like, okay, well, this is really bad. So, but all that it meant was we needed to bomb further south than where we were. And it was pretty dicey for a while, but we managed to get like really, really far south really quickly because we were just, Nikki and I were just sailing
really
hard.
And what's Elayna doing at the time? Just throwing up?
Looking after Lenny, man.
Oh, shit. That's right. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Lenny's on this.
Yeah, Lenny's on board.
Good God.
Yeah.
Is there a moment on that boat where you're like, I may not put my family in the best position to succeed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I felt pretty bad a couple of times. There was a point where I got, and this is the other thing about the offshore passages, which if you don't accept the captaincy role and do want to just drink, you won't learn the thing that I love, which is just the responsibility and what you learn by taking that all on, which is, it's pretty cool, man. So I would love for you to.
By the way, I can go a month without drinking. We do it all the time. I'm supposed to start tomorrow.
No, but to captain the boat and to accept all of the responsibility. That's where
I'd be into that.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. But anyway.
All right. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get your email and I'm gonna start this conversation.
Yeah.
And you said, but anyway, keep going. I cut you off. I'm sorry. I'm burping like crazy.
Yeah, me too. What's in these?
It's the banquets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we bombed further south, and yeah, I think all I was going to say was, yeah, we managed to get around that crazy storm.
Was there a point where you were out of it and you're like, oh, thank God? Or was that whole trip like?
No, it was that was the first one, and then there was another 21 days of not quite like that, but yeah, it was pretty wild. The whole thing was pretty wild. Oh, that's the thing that I was going to say. I got a forecast and I'd been tired. I hadn't been, like, lack of sleep, and then I was pretty stressed, so I wasn't really eating as much as I should have been. And there was a point when I got this weather forecast and I looked at it and I was so stressed thinking about Lenny and like, what have I got myself into? And I actually saw dots came up in my eyes. Like, you know, when you get concussed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. And I went and sat down and Elayna's like, do you want any dinner? Excuse me. And I was like, nah, I'm okay. And she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just checking and I'm just staring at the screen at the nav station. And she's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And it wasn't until we'd done the trip and she was talking to me after, and I grabbed her and we hugged and we both cried and
I bet.
and I was like, did you pick up on any of that? And she's like, nah. And I go, I was like, I was so stressed. I was freaking out. And she was like, I didn't pick up on any of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So wait, when that one time you were crossing, you were crossing and you hit your neck again.
Yeah, that was an Atlantic crossing. That was the first Atlantic crossing we did on the Outremer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how did you hurt your neck? I forgot. It wasn't on camera, right?
So I broke my neck in Brazil.
Yeah.
With my mates on a crazy backpacking trip, and then years later, excuse me, when I was sailing with Elayna, I fell forwards and hit the top of my head, and the same thing happened where I couldn't feel my left arm.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God. So the first time my C6 fractured and my C7 popped out and twisted. These are parts of your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and when that happened, my nerve was pinched that goes down to my left arm, and I couldn't move it. And it was.
Could you feel it?
Pretty scary.
Or was it dead?
No, it was completely numb. It actually clenched. It pinched up like that and moved like this. I couldn't. So I was pulling my fingers like this, and I was like, oh my God. And I saw the next wave coming, and I was like, you're dead, dude. There's no way you're living through this. And it was like this.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then what happened? It was fine, right?
Well, I turned around and jumped with it. Oh, so
keep going. Yeah.
In Brazil, I had the spinal surgery.
Yeah.
But on the boat, I was like, I'm not going to be having surgery out here.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do we do? And after a while, it just got better. So the piece of my hip and the titanium that I've got in the back of my neck there, which has fused it in place, it just sort of squashed on the exact same spot. And then my left arm went numb again, but then just got better.
Yeah.
So when I arrived in Antigua, I went to the hospital and we got the scan, and they're basically like, yeah, you're okay. And then we called a million doctors, and yeah, they're like, yeah, it's just what happens.
Wow, man.
If you hit your head.
That's the scary part. I'm making this trip to Hawaii work. If you're into sports betting, you know just how quickly the lines can change. When you got a lot riding on those odds, it pays to stay ahead of the curve. So before placing your bets, listen to the Daily Tip, presented by BetMGM for the best betting analysis and information. We used to do this in college. We had but it was on beepers, I think, and we were betting college basketball, and we would get the tips before, and then if the tips coincided with what we thought, we were like, all right, we're all in. A lot can change between last night's game and today's odds. The Daily Tip gives you an early look at all the angles. Hosts Michael Jenkins and Chelsea Messenger break down the big takeaways and make sure you know everything you need to bet smarter. With featured guest bookmakers like Audacy Insiders and BetMGM experts, you got every fresh take on all the action. Your friends are going to be wondering how you know what they don't know. Not that you have to tell them where you heard it. You know what I mean? As much fun as it is to bet on the game, it's even more fun when you got the inside scoop. Ready to bet with an edge? Tune into the Daily Tip presented by BetMGM. Listen weekdays 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern on Audacy, Spotify, or on your favorite podcast app. The Where are you guys at now? Are you guys in LA?
Yeah, we're staying at an Airbnb
Really?
at Long Beach. Yeah.
That's far away.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
You text and you're like, yeah, I'll be there at, oh shit. I gotta fucking,
yeah. That's why I was late. Sorry, man.
No, don't worry about it. And then you guys got a new boat, right?
Yeah. So I think probably after that crossing, when we dealt with the worst of the worst weather.
Halston, can we get 2 more beers? And we may need to switch over. There's some IPAs in there. Keep going.
Can I go to the toilet?
Yeah, take a piss. I have therapy at 7, so we'll wrap this up within the next 30 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And so you got a new boat, right?
Yeah. So after that North Atlantic crossing, when we dealt with the worst of the worst weather.
Here, try that beer and see if you like it.
Okay.
It's a double IPA.
Okay.
You okay with those?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Tastes like Fremantle.
Yeah. Fremantle, are you?
Fremantle, Western Australia.
Yeah, that's, by the way, that's a huge production company here. So I didn't know that it was a place.
Yeah.
I just knew that it was a
company.
It's an
awesome spot in Perth, Western Australia.
I go to Perth.
We flew from there to Sydney to here.
Yeah, by the way, the fact that where you guys are from is where you're from makes so much more sense about your personalities. Like having been to Australia, because I was like, who are these two? Like they just don't make sense that they're Australian, because you guys seem, you have that Australian adventurous spirit.
Yeah.
But like there's and you guys come off very Australian, but when you guys, just recently I found out where you guys were from, and I was like, oh yeah, because like Perth is like a very, very humble place.
Yeah.
Like Western Australia, you go and perform there, and it's like sometimes instead of giving you a standing ovation, they go, why did you come here? You know, like, thank you. Like they're shocked that you came to Perth.
Oh, right.
Like, why would you?
Not like, what the hell are you doing?
No, they're like,
thanks so much.
They're like, I can't believe you came to Perth. You're like, everywhere is a plane flight for me. There's no difference for me there is no difference in Perth, and I know this is gonna fucking piss people off, but like Sydney or Melbourne or how you guys say it.
Yeah.
Like Australia is Australia.
Yeah.
New Zealand, they're all plane flights for me. Yeah. So I don't really, but so back to the boat. Sorry.
Okay.
So
having dealt with that rough weather.
Yeah.
I was like, it really made me internalize the fact that speed is safety offshore, and it's not you really can't run away from storms, but you can just put yourself in the best part of the storm, that where you're least likely to have a disaster. So and what I said before, where you could get maybe 200 miles south and be dealing with 25 knot winds rather than 45 knot winds. And you're dealing with 25 knots and 3 meter waves rather than 45 knots and 7 meter waves.
Halston, pull up their last boat. I want to see a picture of it. Keep going.
So with that in mind, and I did a big video about the sort of our philosophy of multi-hull sailing and all that sort of stuff, which was really well received in the sailing community. And following all that to
this is your old boat right here?
Logical conclusion. That's the trimaran.
That's the one you just got.
Yeah, that's being built in Vietnam at the moment, and that's the catamaran.
Okay.
So the idea was, Elayna and I said to her, "Are you fairly comfortable on board? We spend, it's our home, it's it's everything, right?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "We got 2 kids coming. We probably need a little bit more room on board." And she agreed. And I said, "I don't really want a palace. I'd rather a boat that sailed quite fast and is safe." And she completely agreed. And we looked around for a long time, and we looked at a bunch of other catamaran manufacturers. But in the end, I really think that Rapido nailed it.
Is that the name of the company?
Yeah, that's the name
Rapido?
of the
pull up
trimaran.
Rapido. I'm curious. So those 2 holes on the side, can you put stuff in those?
You can, light stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing too heavy.
And then, but all your living's on the inside of it.
Yeah, so it's not quite as big as a mono hull.
Which one is yours? The 4th one over?
4, yeah, 3 and 4. Yeah.
Can you click that picture so I can see that picture?
Their promo YouTube video is pretty sick. Goes for about 3 minutes.
Really?
I'll send you the
Oh,
link.
wow. Look at that.
It's nice, man. It's really,
That's
really good.
really nice.
So it's a 60-foot boat, so it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. See, this is what I'm looking for in our trip. We definitely need dolphins in front of us. We definitely need dolphins in front of us. I want a whale to show up and us all to get out of the boat into the water and swim with the whale.
Yeah.
Definitely want that.
Yeah. I can do that. I can organise that for you.
Please.
Elayna's a whale whisperer. Elayna is actually a dolphin whisperer.
Really?
She can get him to come in, yeah.
I swam with dolphins in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Out in the water. This is a beautiful fucking boat.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it just sails like the wind. Like it's
Really?
so awesome, yeah.
So this is the interior. This is the... Oh, nice.
So for what you're talking about, having, maybe 10 people on board,
Yeah.
that's not the boat. But for
Right.
round the world cruises like Elayna and I with the family, that's sort of the benchmark.
So let's type in Halston. So what's our perfect boat?
You guys,
Yeah. For if we're doing like, I'm trying to think. It won't be 10. It's too many people to cover that. We need.
So who do you want? You want Brody Moss, John Florence, Nathan Florence.
Oh wow! I didn't know I could pick from them. Yeah, I would love that. I would drive them fucking nuts. Like they would be like, okay, I can't be on a boat with this guy. Jesus Christ, he's fucking doesn't turn it off.
But we're only going to Hawaii. That's not that big of a trip.
Yeah, I would love Brody. I think is one of the most engaging people. Have you ever seen the video of him having coffee for the first time?
No, I've seen 3 of his 4 most recent. Yeah.
He had coffee for the first time the other day, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like, because he's having coffee, right? So he's having what is this boat?
That's the Gunboat 68.
This is what we want?
Yeah.
How many people can sleep on there?
I know the guys. I can get you the information.
You know the guys?
So Outremer is owned by Grand Large Yachting, who also make these.
Is this what John took on his trip?
So he's got a 48-foot one of these, which is an older one.
Really?
So this is 68.
68 is what we want, right?
You want a 68, yeah.
Okay.
Minimum.
Do they go bigger?
I think they could build an 80 for you, but that's pretty absurd.
I'm trying to think. I get here are the companies we get involved. Yeti, we get Yeti involved, right?
So that's owned by Hudson, who builds H&H's, who are a direct competitor of these guys.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We'll pull up. Let's see what.
So I met him.
Let's see what those boats look like. What boat's this? This is fucking great. Oh, shut up! I get a master bedroom.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, this is fucking ridiculous.
Well, that's what you get for $12 million.
And John Florence has one of these.
He's got a 48 and an older one. He's got a it's a really good boat.
I should hit up Nathan and find out. I'm friends with his brother. I have never met John. Have you ever seen Nathan Florence?
I've seen him, yeah.
He's fucking, his energy is like your energy.
Yeah.
Just fucking positive.
Okay.
Fucking really great surfer. But just like, I watched him paddle out one time and he was getting pummeled, but he had a smile just. So.
Legend.
Yeah, he's the best. David Lee Roth traveled around the world in a tugboat.
Who's David Lee Roth?
Jesus Christ. I'm so fucking old. Van Halen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so
this is the H&H?
This is H&H?
No.
H&H sailboat?
Yeah, right. H&H catamaran. So, yeah, H&H build boats out of China.
Wow, that delicate. I missed the joke. You know what China is? China is like a plates and.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
these are fucking
a mix
nice.
of carbon and China.
These are really fucking nice.
Yeah. That's an FPV
We got to find
drone.
that's
obviously.
fucking. We got to find the value in what we're doing and what our trip's doing for a brand.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna get eyes on it. You give us a boat. I mean, if we get Dave Chappelle, then fucking, I don't think Dave Chappelle's gonna go on a boat for.
You know who has sent me a couple of messages and is really interested in sailing is Henry Cavill, who is Superman,
Oh, really?
The Witcher.
Hey, wait. See who produces Superman.
Or go. So his latest Netflix series is The Witcher.
Is Henry Cavill?
So if you wanted to do something massive and you could pull it off, maybe.
We could do that. We can make that happen. I wonder if Legendary produces it. We might have a hookup. Oh no, I think you're probably finding the wrong one. Yeah, we could pack this out. I bet we could find. I bet we don't even need to do comedians. I bet there's some celebrities that would like to do it.
Warner Brothers.
Oh fuck. Yeah, but who produced it? Warner Brothers distributed. Who produced it?
It's produced by Warner Brothers.
Oh, well, they did both then. All right. And find out the best time of year to I hope it's fucking April.
June.
Oh, that's perfect.
The best
That's actually perfect.
to sail from LA to Hawaii. June.
Okay.
That's what it says.
That's perfect for me. Summer is like I would be ideal.
Yeah.
We do a huge show. We do a huge show in Hawaii, right? Oh, this is gonna be great. And we'll bring this fucking goddess. Jesus, who the fuck is he?
It's
He is
Superman.
gorgeous.
dude.
Superman.
Is that he plays Superman?
Yeah.
He is beautiful.
So he's really interested in sailing.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, count him in. I'll DM him. I'll just
Yep.
DM him today and be like, "Hey
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
we're sailing to Hawaii. If you're in,
Sitting here with Riley.
leave your cape at home, brother." So when do you get the new boat?
So Vietnam's in lockdown right now. It's like hardcore lockdown. So
Oh yeah, everyone's
production
dying
has
in
gone.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends in Vietnam.
Right. Yeah, because you were.
I did an episode in Vietnam, and our best friends are from Vietnam.
Right.
Yeah, and so
I saw you talking to Joe Rogan, and he called you, and you were on a motorbike in Vietnam.
yeah, I was high and drunk, racing a motorcycle through rice paddies in Vietnam,
Yeah.
and he gave me a fucking great speech. And then,
Telling you to leave the Travel Channel.
yep.
Yeah.
We just talked about that the other day, oddly
Yeah.
enough. So
That's the one I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you smoke weed?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Elayna used to. a
Oh,
bit.
really?
Yeah.
Did you ever have it on? Hey, wait. Okay, here's a question I wanted to ask you about pirates.
Right. So pirates were quite prevalent off the coast of Somalia,
Yeah.
but the French naval fleet went in with a couple of other countries and just blew them all up.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, I mean, a lot less.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other places like there's the Malacca Strait in Thailand and areas in the Philippines where you need to be careful. Yeah, and that's you're right. That's organized piracy. There are places that are kind of dodgy, but that's just traveling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I mean, I've never come across the Jolly Roger with.
Wait, do you have do you know the other sailing YouTubers?
I've met a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I watched a bunch of them and
Yeah.
they're all pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
whatever reason, I think the dynamic was like people would come on and off the boat and then jump in and
Okay.
then I've watched a couple of them. I tell you what.
You would have seen Sailing Doodles, I think.
What's that?
You would have seen sailing doodles.
I didn't see that.
No?
No.
Okay.
I saw this guy sail by himself in a tiny fucking boat across the fucking sea. And it was one video. He just edited it into one video.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And you're like,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm having hot dogs and onions again today. And you're like, Jesus, man, you did not prepare.
Was that LA to Hawaii?
I think I saw that guy. What is this? Oh, they just go and party balls. Oh, this is really professionally done. Like it looks like they have cameramen. Like, is that often that you bring gifts and the community?
I will occasionally I'll end up with too much fish and I'll go and take it to some people and swap for tomatoes and onions.
Yeah.
We're in pretty remote locations, so cruisers will lean on each other for help for sure.
Yeah.
It's a pretty awesome community.
So I cut you off. So what's the plan now? You got the boat being made. Everything's in lockdown.
Yeah, so Vietnam is in full-scale lockdown, or has been for the last 3 months. So our boat hasn't been being built at all.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we hadn't sold the Outremer, the catamaran. So that's in Charleston. So we're going to fly to it, go down to the Bahamas and just hang out there for 8-9 months tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, when are you flying when are you flying? Hang on. All right.
So we're flying to Charleston tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we'll be in the Bahamas probably a week after that.
Really?
Yep.
So we're thinking about flying to the Bahamas October 24th until the 28th.
Yeah.
Is that when you're going to be down there?
Yep.
No way. Yeah,
Where are you going to be?
We're flying out of Jacksonville.
Where do you fly to in the Bahamas?
This is
So we're going to be.
I shouldn't say on air.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be diving with the tiger sharks in Grand Bahama.
Really?
And then from there, yeah, we'll be kind of around Grand Bahama.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we haven't solidified our trip. We may just stay in Jacksonville and get a beach house and just party at a beach house. But we've right now, my buddies knows a small island that is just super remote. And so we were going to just fly into there, but the flights are super expensive. Well, we got to charter a jet. You can't just we can't just go.
Okay.
So
we would have to charter a jet.
What?
Or sail there.
What's that? I'd sail there. Yeah. Yeah. Just sail to Jacksonville. Yeah. How long does it take to get from Bahamas to Jacksonville? Nautical miles, Halston.
No, Jacksonville. Yeah, that's going to be upwind probably.
Oh yeah.
Annoying. Basically, I'm not going to Jacksonville.
All right. Would you go to? Oh, but you don't want us on the boat with your fucking kids. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get a jet there, and then we'll hit you up and go get beers.
All right.
Let the kids go to bed. We'll have some beers.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some. We can do some stuff during the day.
Yeah.
Like some free diving stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It'll be a fucking blast.
What I would really like to do, and this is one of do you remember when you asked me before about the most beautiful experiences that and I said they sort of happen every day.
Yeah.
But that one with Elayna when there was no wind on the water and it was completely glassy, but we were sailing fast as.
Yeah.
There was another one of them which you won't only get in the Bahamas, but there's not too many places in the world that you can get it. And we were sailing at maybe between 12 and 14 knots, which is pretty fast, but in only 2 meters of water, and it's crystal clear water, right?
Yeah.
So you can make out the details on the sand below you. You can see the stingrays, you can see the bommies, you can see the mutton snapper as you're sailing past, but really fast. And that's one thing that stands out in my mind as like a highlight of any sailing that I've done anywhere. And that would be really cool. If you wanted to take your family and go and do something, it would be hammering downwind or at 130 degrees under spinnaker or under Jenica across the Bahama bank.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Put that on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Put that on my bucket list. Dude, it has been a pleasure meeting you finally. I mean, cheers. Thank you
too,
for doing
mate.
this. I know that I knew that you're not much of a, you're not much of a showman. You're not in this for any sort of celebrity or notoriety or fame. You kind of just do what you do and it gets filmed and it gets put up. And I think that's part of the reason I found you engaging is that you are this reluctant kind of reluctant entertainer.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that the podcast isn't in your comfort zone, but I sincerely appreciate you doing this, man.
Oh, thanks a lot, mate.
And I will figure out our trip in June to Hawaii. I'm gonna hit you back, and we're gonna get one of these boats. We might try to do a deal with Yeti. I think that might be the fucking way.
Yeah. Okay.
But
well, I can send you the details of.
I get bet emails probably best for you, huh?
Yeah, WhatsApp or Andrew can send me a thing or whatever. Yeah.
But I appreciate you doing this, man.
No
Thank
worries,
you very
mate.
much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
My pleasure.